Alright, after a few technical hiccups, I think... Yep, we should be good. That was a little bit strange, but... oh well. I'll get the second screen set up and then we should be good to continue as normal. That's the great hope anyway. We'll just have a little look at the stream settings as well to make sure none of those actually changed. Okay, yeah, we should be okay. Hello, Isaac. It was very strange. Oop. Okay, there we go. And I will just also go through some of the in-game settings as well to make sure that nothing actually changed. Yeah, that's more or less what I want. And audio. Just put the effects down just a little bit more. Hey there, Justy. Okay, so with that we shall load into the game. Just to get a little grasp on the sense or the state of play at the start of this part. We may be fighting a many-front war actually from this moment on in the campaign. That's the intent anyway. We should have the finances to be able to withstand that. A Mordor invasion might make that a little bit more spicy. But we shall wait and see. But suffice it to say, actually, I think, having thought about things, considering the fact that Rune were actually in our lands at one point, that says to me that they have pushed Dale back a little bit. Which would imply that most of our attention should probably be going towards Rune, because it's a much more wide open part of the map, so we'll need more than just the one army. Whereas in the mountains and the choke points, we should be fine with just one, or two technically, strong armies to guard both of the passes. It does mean that we won't be able to expand westward quite as quickly, but I don't think that's going to be as much of a problem as it could otherwise have been. Okay, so we can move forward. This is a mostly full army. Well, I say that, a lot of these units are fairly banged up, but I mean it's a fairly healthy army. If it were just one of these goblin stacks over here, I'd actually feel really quite confident about our chances. But it is not just the one goblin army, it is a goblin city with a big garrison, including stuff like trolls, which is a little bit concerning. There's crossbow wielding warg riders, regular heavy goblin crossbows, but most of the infantry is of extremely low quality, as you would expect of Moria. Even the Uruk overseers are not amazing, I don't think. Not compared to our units anyway. I mean, they're good for the goblins, but they're not compared to us. Hello there, Federico. Or Federico. Okay, we'll deal with that in just a second. I was actually thinking as well, maybe there is a way. There's these Angmar stacks over here, but to be honest with you, these are not all that impressive. In fact, they're not impressive to the extent where I'm thinking of sallying forth and meeting them on the field. There's no real need for these units to be way back over here either. Although maybe there is, because they would need to siege down that fort if they were going to come this way. So we can't move you, can we? No, yeah. We need to get military access with the Anduin, really, because that could prove to be a bit of an issue if we don't. Right, and one thing we also need to be doing right now is sending units eastward. That is something that definitely needs to be happening a little bit more, I think. We need to build up a nice force and we need to send them this way, because I do think Rune are going to become more the threat to us. Do let me know if there's echoing sound as well, because there was a little bit of a strange hiccup at the start of the stream where I was going to actually start about 10 minutes ago, but it did not come to pass because something strange happened with OBS, but I believe I fixed it. Right, one thing that we're going to do, as I said, we could actually lure one of those goblin armies out potentially. Can we? We will offer to attack. We'll offer to join the war, essentially, of the goblins of Moria. There's actually Balin in here as well, which is pretty neat. And we will just do that for you. Only just. Right. So... No, I guess we can't. Okay, that's fair enough. That's strange. But yeah, so this could be pretty interesting. I mean, we've got 2 ballista, so we definitely have the ranged advantage. We also have some archers as well, just generally. The crossbows are maybe a little bit of a concern, but infantry-wise, we definitely have the ability to kill off many, many goblins, especially with our general himself. I like to think of this particular general as being a bit reckless. He sees the opportunity, and he's going to try and take it. This could end up in a loss, to be fair, if all of those goblins come for us, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. I think we will just dive right on into this battle, to be honest with you. Yeah, that is a substantial disadvantage it's got us working at, but these are all just really crap Snaga. Hey there, Calvin. Yeah, a lot of these units barely even get above 3s and 5s as regards to their effectiveness. I don't know though, this could be a little bit, that's a big balance of power shift that they've got in the Gobbo's favour here. They've got trolls as well, which is a little bit of a concern. Maybe actually what I'll do, I'll try and draw them into attacking us. But yes, we're at war with the goblins now. All is right with the world, I suppose, in that regard. Right, so we're building stuff everywhere as well. Just it's been a few days, so I've got to get my bearings again. Hey there, George. Nice to have you around. Right, Rakyaburg. We can build stuff over here as well, which I think roads would probably be the best thing, because we just need to be moving through our lands at pace. So yeah, we'll go with roads. To be fair though, we probably wouldn't be... Well, I mean, with military access with the Anduin, yes we would, so no need to worry too much about that. We've got these boys on the way over, including the mighty Blacklocks. We've got more units being trained. I think actually what we will do as well... Oof, we stand to lose an awful lot actually by that, but... Okay, maybe we'll just send a captain stack out then, because all of a sudden Kirit Gathol is apparently unhappy. Although that's probably because of military build policy, isn't it? Yep, there it is. Military build policy is truly the most damned existence that we lead with that. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Not really much else we can do there. Hey there, Lucas and Kobe. So yeah, other than that, I think we're pretty much set. We can't build anything else. Maybe we can recruit units. Yeah, we can recruit another unit of Iron Hills Matics, which we will do because they're always going to be fairly useful. They're fairly cheap by Dwarven standards, and they're pretty decent. Every faction we fight from now on pretty much is going to have some reliance on armour, even the goblins. So let's just see how that transpires. I'm interested to see what Angmar do actually as well, because I do kind of want to... I don't want to give them the opportunity to just try and siege us indefinitely, which is probably what the AI will do with a garrison of this strength. I'm actually quite tempted as well to pull back a unit or two of... just so we can potentially get a garrison. Potentially it will make them more likely to attack us straight up. So we can't really afford to get much rid of anything in the way of infantry here. But we will pull back the Dwarven Travellers, and we'll pull back a unit as well of regular archers, I think. So that'll give us free upkeep on them. And I don't... well, one turn until... so an armoury will actually be built as soon as we pass the turn. So we will get a garrison as well should we get attacked. And it will make them a little bit more likely to not just siege us indefinitely. Missed the last stream. What did we do in the last stream? We took... well, Gundabad died in the last stream. We took Berzakul and Ayulstone away from them. And Rune have arrived. Or they did arrive. We fought Rune around this region over here. Which does suggest that they have taken the town that's over here away from Dale. Dale held it at one point, but I'm pretty sure Rune have it now. It would make sense anyway. So that's what we're going to do. I imagine the goblins will certainly attack us. So we'll pull back a little bit. Like I want them to attack us. I just want only one of these armies to do so. Because if it's one by one, we can easily handle them. So let's pass the turn. Dane is in Yulstone as well. He's alone in Yulstone, actually. Hey there, Charles Buckle. No, don't leave. I was going to try and... Oh. If with the diplomat there, I definitely would have been able to enter negotiations with Anduin immediately. Does that work when it's in the fog of war, Kobe? That seems a little bit gamey to be able to do that. Ah, Isengard. I worry for Gondor at this point, actually, because they have actually been doing remarkably well against Mordor this far into the game, but they're getting closed in on now, and Isengard do seem to have actually gotten the better of Rohan, despite Rohan looking like they might win initially. Doesn't look to be the case anymore. Take Mount Graham. I mean, I want to, but I don't know if I'm going to be necessarily able to. Ooh, Anduin Vale. They will help us, won't they? That might be enough, actually, to get us to be victorious in that. We'll do that next turn. Angmar seem to have scattered to the four winds, which is nice. Relations improved with Ered Luin. Erebor itself, Latash, and Dane's Halls. So, we can't build anything in Latash just yet, which is not too surprising. But with an armory here, I feel much better about holding on to things. Army barracks, that's not really terribly useful at the moment. Where's a brewery as the culture increase, isn't it? Yes. So we'll go with that, because otherwise Latash is just going to be here doing not much of anything for the time being. It is a mining province, though, which is very nice for us indeed. Right, you go into Yulstone, actually, because we do need Dane to have some kind of army around him. These two, actually, I shouldn't really be pulling them this way. We need Ballista in the east. So you can keep moving this way. King's Axes and King's Shields. It's very nice to have our tier 2 units out onto the field now. Not on mini-maps or towns themselves. Yeah, so Rune hold that region, so yes, they did take it. Right, you need to get back into Kirit Cathol, because apparently things are not happy with you not there. We can't build anything else there either, so it's going to take us a little while to get an army of substance over there, and I don't want to move out too many of these units over here because, of course, we could end up needing to repulse an invasion from Mordor. Roads everywhere wouldn't really be the worst idea at this stage, because we do need to move pretty quickly from one side of our realm to the other. It's a long and thin... The Vale might want to attack Goblin Town first. Yeah, but they'll be pulled into my fights, your enemy's friend. I'll attack the army that's outside of Goblin Town, and they will assist me, and I will still have movement left if we are to win that fight. So I'll just then slot into Goblin Town and take it. Either if they don't join the fight with me, then I simply won't attack, and I'll let them throw themselves at that Goblin stack and die. So it's their choice. I could buy Goblin Town as well off of them, even if they are successful somehow against 2 full stacks. Catapult Maker. We're already building a Catapult Maker somewhere. I think it's in Witherboard. Yeah, we'll go with roads. Moving from side to side in our realm is going to be ever more important. They've already moved. And, yes. Oh, we can actually, So, how about military access and military access? Good. Right, now we won't be accidentally tanking our relations with them by moving through their land. Right then. I don't think there's anything else we can really do, because I do want to keep an eye on the east, because that's definitely where we need to be moving with our troops, but we can't really move any further. We'll move a little bit further along there. Maybe what I want to do actually is build up a... So yeah, they still hold on to that. We can't see these territories over here. Okay, so that's fine. Dale still hold this border over here, but maybe what I want to do is build up an army, just a captain stack perhaps, in Kirit Cathol and move south with that. Doesn't even necessarily need to be an absolutely full to the brim stack, but we shall see. Hey there, Serpent King. So, we will just save it here, because this could be quite the mess. It's time for Anduin to pay me back for getting Thranduil killed Wait. No, I want to attack them. Yeah, so they're going to join us. I don't really want to command this army in battle. Whatever. Oh yeah, I can actually, can't I? That just means something else. Okay, so what have they actually got in their army? Well, it's a full stack technically, but it's a very battered unit, and none of them are especially fantastic. But they'll get the job done. They'll get the job done of helping us anyway, and being the numbers on the field that we need them to be. And all of the this will be enough to tilt the odds of this fight in our favour. Hey there, Logini. Right then, time for this general to earn his stripes. The first time we'll be actually seeing the Goblins of Moria on the battle map in any of our campaigns so far, so that's pretty neat. Age-old enemies, the dwarves and the goblins. And then we can just park this guy in Goblin Town, give him a full stack of even just basic units, and within Goblin Town, especially with artillery, that should be enough to stop any incursions. Right then. So, the Anduin will be coming in from the north over this way. So if we go here, and flaming shots. Yeah, the ranged advantage we have is going to be very important in this fight. Are axe throwers AP in DAC? Yes, George. Or at least mine are. There's always exceptions to rules, so it's probably best not to make blanket statements like that, but AP is not an area that we struggle in. Speaking of which, any heavy goblins that we come across, the mattocks will be really, really useful for dealing with them. And we will also have some spears on the flank. I really wish that the organisation that you did stuck after every battle. It's really annoying to have to go through and do this every single time. Right, and then there's archers as well. Yeah, we have enough archers as well. Like, Northman archers are probably like, they do more damage than the goblins at the very least, but they're no more survivable. Right, and then axe throwers, which we shall probably use on one flank. And then the general can just be here in the middle. Right then. We're technically the aggressors here, so they will pull back, and that is a massive hill that they have, actually. But that doesn't matter, because we can easily force them off of that hill. Going to shoot out stance as well. They do have wargs, so it is best to be careful. The goblins and the Snaga, of course, here in all of their glory, in inverted commas. Right, the trolls are in and amongst here somewhere, which is something we need to watch. Oh no, they're in the reinforcement army, aren't they? Yeah, but the overall quality is highly questionable. Something like the Durin's Guard will be excellent in a situation like this. Where are the Durin's Guard? There they are. I was actually having a look at the stats of some of the Dwarven units, and Erebor prioritise having a little bit more attack, and Khazad-dûm prioritise having a little bit more defence. Still waiting for the day Izzy finishes his Umbar campaign. Actually, that's a good point. What are you lot doing? Okay. Veil Defenders, so a unit of basic pikes, Bjorning Warriors. They, the Anduin have got some good AP options as well, as you would expect, perhaps, from a faction of Northmen. We do want to be careful here. Something I always have to be always have to remind myself is the fact that The dwarves at walking speed are incredibly slow. They already coming forward? They are, by the looks of things. If we can take their army one after the other. In fact, you get into aggressive stance then. Start moving forward now. Go after them. Just start pinging shots into them. Technically, skin changes are one of the best AP options. Yeah, but they're very small units, aren't they? And they don't have much in the way of armour at all, which is a concern in DAC, to be honest with you, with how armour-centric the defensive values are. Right, you move over there. Alright, actually yes, just charge in there. It's time to start hacking through them, I think. Right, so some of them are going to go after the Anduin, but they're getting way too far ahead of themselves, so we should be just fine with that. We'll trust the Anduin. Yeah, it is. It's nice to have an ally of a different faction. Right, this terrain is rather intriguing. Right, okay. Alright, okay, so they're going to come for us, are they? I don't have too much of an issue with that, to be honest. Get into them. Ooh. That's less amazing, but we do have some spears in there. Victory seems certain. Come on, you got to be doing better than that, my boys. Yeah, kill off the wargs, because they are a bit of a pain in the arse. Oof. Not amazing. Yeah, keep shooting at those wargs. Could do with the Anduin arriving a little bit more promptly than this. Right, and actually we also need to get the... That wasn't what I wanted to do, but we also need to be getting the artillery back into a slightly safer position. Right, yeah, the wargs are shaken at this point. Okay, yeah. We will be just fine. Okay, we'll go down to half speed, I think. I don't like the fact that I have to turn the sound effects down, to be honest with you. It's a real pain. But, yeah, if someone wants to point me in the direction of a music mod and how to install that, then I will do so, because it's become too much of an issue to ignore, I think. Hey there, Llama Boy. Right, so we've got the Mattocks on the front line. This is where, again, like the low quality of the units we're fighting should come to bear. Like the wargs as well are not going to be sufficient if they're just going to pile them into the front like this. Yes, and we shall continue to shoot as well with our arrows. These should not be on fire at will. The rest of you just form up. There is that whole second army that we do have to consider. Yeah, don't worry, Xavier, that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to use my throwing axes on any old garbage. Right, those Mattocks can get in there as well. Fire at them. Fire at them. Fire at them. Yes, and the Anduin Vale are also here now as well, which is very nice. Bjorning Shield Bearers are fairly decent as well. I mean, to be fair, you don't even need to be fairly decent to be able to deal with individual units of goblins like this. They seem to have left themselves wildly open to the Anduin just sweeping forwards and being in aggressive stance. This is where the Anduin should actually be very, very useful with stuff like the Bjorning Warriors. It is only a captain stack though, so I don't think they've got any generals units. Again, they're just piling their wargs into the front, which is exactly what we want, because that's where the damage of the Mattocks is going to come good for us. And the arrows are also doing their thing. I hate transitioning from watching Reforged to DAC. Why, Logini? I'm not doing a Reforged campaign. It's just not refined enough. Yeah, we'll get into the archers with that one unit of Erebor infantry there. Orc fighters, victory seems certain. I guess they do have a bit of a numbers advantage. More wargs. Snaga wavering as well. I'm actually pleased, to be honest, that the other army hasn't decided to come forward yet, because that had like Uruk overseers and it was the one with the trolls as well. Yeah, you go there. You can just stay there. You as well don't need to be on fire at will. Honestly, I'm just glad to be doing something different that isn't Reforged, to be honest with you. Right, yeah, they're routing. Snaga archers, not the most stout-hearted, by any means. Right, so... yeah, we need to run with you. Yeah, start firing at the Warg Scouts. Okay, turn around and meet their charge. Try not to allow them to get up to charge speed against you. Why is Reforged bad for campaigns and why is DAC bad at multiplayer? It's just how they've been developed. DAC's been in development longer. It prioritised campaigns. Reforged hasn't had a lot of development time on the campaign, and it shows. It's as simple as that. Why are you in melee exactly? Actually, you know what? You can just hold fire. You get across here. Orc hunters are losing their fight now. But yeah, now they're... actually, Anduin Vale are pushing forward maybe a little bit too much. Maybe a little bit too impetuous, but I'd rather they be more aggressive than just sit in the corner, so... I'll allow it. And we'll send Furor forwards. He will be the toast of Erebor if he's able to take the goblins. Did they ever consider working together? Wouldn't work, Logini. The fundamental ways that the mods have been constructed and balanced are completely different and utterly incompatible with one another. So it wouldn't work. The way that DAC is made would not work for multiplayer at all. And I would argue as well that Reforged, even if they were to put more time into the campaign aspect of things, there are certain elements in the balance which would be very exploitable in a campaign. The most significant ones would be knight units, knight class units, so multiple HP cavalry, and rangers. Too many body piercing projectiles. Okay, yeah, so they are now routing. So let's... okay, so they are now also routing. Good. Right, let's get everything into place. Let's move you forwards. Right, we've got wargs on the way, which is something we should prepare for. Do we have... yeah, we've got a unit of Erebor infantry, which we shall bring down. Snaga archers. Actually, we don't want to get our general too far ahead of proceedings. And you. Okay, so they are on the way. They're actually going to try and attack into us, which is quite sporting of them. Where did those infantry... that infantry unit go? Just throw some axes in. There they are. Okay. Don't DAC and Reforged have a Yeah, they use one another's unit models and maps to a certain extent, which is good. I know that one thing they were trying to do was get the Grey Havens working in DAC, which is very good, because I mean WK's variants of the maps are always very, very good. But you have to make the AI work on it as well, which is easier said than done. But they should absolutely do that, I think. Because like at the moment, I think Mythlond is just a generic settlement, which is a little bit disappointing. Right, so Orc fighters, they're just coming down the hill piecemeal at this point. Bjorning warriors are still fighting over there. Let's go back up to 1 speed. Why not? Right, you get into place there. Goblin infantry, you move forwards. We've got some farmhand pikemen on the way forwards. Right, can we take pot shots at those trolls? Ooh, there goes the Anduin general. He got a little bit too aggressive with it. Hopefully his army doesn't collapse with that knowledge. You're a little bit too far back as well. Umbar, Dol Amroth, yes, that's good. I think Tharbad as well now. Durin's Guard need a little bit of support. Erebor infantry on the way forwards. Right, so those farmhand pikemen are getting rolled, so we should you need to just get into melee somewhere actually. Oof. Stiff-beard archers, we'll move you into position. Okay, grilling a few of them. More of the Valesmen are on the way forward. Yeah, we've got some axe throwers on station as well to deal with them. Oh, they're going to go for us though. Come on, get a volley off. Yeah, they're slowing down. Nice shot from the ballista. Almost all of them ended up missing. No, a few of them ended up dying. Okay, good. Okay, I don't really care about the Northman archers. If that's their choice of target in melee, then so be it. Start firing at stuff en masse. Umbar and Dak are still generic. Yeah, no, I saw Umbar. I know what it was. It's just a big city, isn't it? But ironically, that's perhaps more effective than a custom battle map in some ways, because it had tons of ballista towers right from turn 1, which is part of what makes it quite difficult to deal with. Right, can we please bring them down? Okay, so this is this ballista, so we'll actually try and move you around to the flank. Try and get you into place as well. Right, they lurched forward, so they're now in melee. The Durin's Guard are going to be too strong to really deal with in melee, you would imagine. Warg Scouts should be the target of our affections. They're trying to push in with the goblins, but they're going to be thrown back the other way for their trouble. Right, can we not be in melee? Oh no, you may as well actually just... Are you actually still throwing your axes, or are you just... No, you're not, are you? Useless. Get into melee then. This unit of poor Northman archers is going to get destroyed by the trolls. It's a little bit difficult to pay attention to chat and pay attention to this battle here at the same time. Okay, yeah, they're starting to rout. Just 2 trolls remain. Can we spare a unit of mattocks from anywhere? Yeah, we can. Okay, you head back this way. No, keep going after the Warg Scouts. The rest of you get in there. Yeah, you go up the hill. How are the Anduin getting on? Not all that well, actually. It looks as though the Anduin is slowly but surely being defeated, which is a little bit unfortunate. The point, actually, where these axe throwers would probably be best off heading this way. We're also getting to the point where we will need to start using our archers in melee. Fortunately, with the amount of strength we still have left, there's not really much that a bunch of trash towards the late game is going to be able to do for them.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Okay, Durin's Guard, you go back over there. You know what, actually, you just get into a shape. They are no longer have ammunition, so we shall require their services in melee. Goblin infantry. Right, please kill that one troll off. At this point it's getting a little bit silly. Fire into the goblin infantry. Trash as far as the eye can see. I mean, there are a few Valesmen still wandering around. Durin's Guard. Still 33 Durin's Guard, and there's no way that the goblins will be able to crack their way through them, to be honest with you. They're routing. Right, good. Finally dead. You move over there. Axe throwers move into place. Do you still have ammo? You don't. Okay, get ready to move in there then. Everyone's services in melee will be required at this point. Oh, don't break ranks too hastily. Those Warg Scouts really want to charge in, but they're not sure. As well they shouldn't be, because they will lose that fight should they charge in.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Okay, Valesmen are on the way in as well. Yeah, we've pretty much got it at this point. There's just a few roving bands of goblins which are chasing off elements of the Anduin army, but they don't really stand much of a chance at this point. Kill off the wargs. Still Snaga archers. Been a very messy battle, this. Mattocks. Throw into those goblin band as well. Might be enough even to rout them before they arrive. Erebor infantry. Head up that way. And Durin's Guard. Still oh no, just Mountain I thought they were Urukovices for a second then, but no. I was in fact mistaken. Got some routing Mattocks. That's impressive to be able to rout the dwarves. Custom maps take time to make and get polished. Yep, that's true. That's a little bit more like it. That's a lot of damage coming in from the axe throwers. And we should still have the movement as well to get in here and finish things off. Yeah, just shoot with those crossbows actually. Snaga archers. Those wargs are going to be a real pain. In fact, to the point where we should just get our Northman archers that still have a bit of ammunition in to help deal with them. Up that way. Charge into them. Okay. And all is well with the world. Yeah, this is where having a unit like this really helps. I mean, as the goblins, like one thing that I've been noticing in Windy's campaign is he's been having to kite them around, but he's been successful at doing so with just a few units of Dunedain. Obviously, as the dwarves, we can't kite around, but it does go to show that the goblins are fragile enough that you can just monster mash them in melee. Okay. Go after the infantry. There's still some warg riders there, actually. chasing down the store hunters of the Anduin Vale. These wargs are going to be the concern now. They just keep coming back from routing. Okay, they actually did charge in. Makes life a little bit easier for us, actually.
Look how our cowardly foe runs.
Good.
It is time to press the attack.
Yeah, they're gone. They shouldn't come back either, but I've been wrong before. It is just that one unit of wargs, really, that's the problem at this point, isn't it? Just one, tagging them with one ballista bolt would probably be sufficient to win at this point. Look at them run for the hills. That is the issue, though, at this point. We don't really have the ability to catch up with them because we're dwarves. We're slow. And exhausted. No, don't walk, run. If we can get on top of this hill, then they won't be able to escape the range of the Northman archers, I don't think. Which would be nice. God, look how slow we are. We're not going to be able to run all of them down, but we will be able to siege them. They have a few units back there. That unit has yet to enter the battlefield, which is pretty remarkable. The Anduin have anything left? Not much. My campaign is to do 9 and focus on destroying the goblins first. Yeah, I mean, thing is though, is the Dunedain, because of like the auto expansion doesn't give you Fornost or Anuminas. If you just leave that, then Angmar will take Fornost, and sometimes Bree will take Anuminas, which is annoying because like you can fight Angmar to get Fornost back, but Bree taking Anuminas is kind of annoying. Are they just... Will I win the battle then if they're waiting to enter the field? Hopefully, I really hope this is going to be enough to... go on. I would actually just rather them charge in because... Oh, my kingdom for 1 unit of cavalry. That unit is bugged, you'll need to wait out the timer. I'm the attacker though, Kobe, so I'll lose if that's the case. They're technically on the field, can I not kill them? No, I guess not. I mean, not that it really matters because we've still got to deal with this nonsense. Honestly, every time I come into the game thinking, yeah, this is going to be good, looking forward to this, there's always something that ruins the enthusiasm, and it's this unit of wargs doing their thing today. They just cannot help themselves, the AI. They've got to be annoying and awkward.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Okay, well, they're killing them. Some of them are not on the field though. This is infuriating. Right. Stop chasing them. Just let them do their thing and we'll surround them. We don't have enough ammo to kill off all of them. They're going to keep doing this. Fuck the AI, seriously. It doesn't achieve anything. Like, they've lost. This is the sort of thing that someone online would do to try and cheese the victory even though you've outplayed them utterly. Right, okay. The ballista's in place now. Let's see if we can't utilise them to get the result that we want. They're going to take ages to use their ammo, Hrothgar. And the problem is I can't even, like, they won't even stop running away because the Anduin are the ones that are chasing them. I hate my life. This is ridiculous. There's nothing I can possibly say about this. There's no commentary I can add. It is what it is. We're going to have to suffer through it. I know it's not your fault, Hrothgar, but, like, you know, I'm giving you a reason as to why your advice would not be sufficient to get us out of this problem. Holy shit, we might actually be able to get around them with this one unit. Just tag them with one. That's all we need to do. There's no escape for them now, surely. Meanwhile, oh, thank God. Okay, just end it. Right, so they're probably going to end up... Yeah, they've got a fair few soldiers remaining, but we should be able to siege Goblin Town down now. Oof. Natural sprinters. Yeah. I suppose it's quite in character for the goblins to approach business like that, but there it is. Yeah, they're going to be executed. To the last man. Ah, a man of the hour. He's already a general. Silly. Right. So, we shall siege. And yes. Goblin Town only, like, towers and ladders, I think, are completely useless on Goblin Town. I don't think we're going to get the Anduin's help to take the settlement, but having said that, I don't think we need it. We've already done so much damage to them. And our general alone would be enough to cut through most of what they have left, to be honest with you. And we have 2 units of siege equipment. Anyway, enough of that. We don't need to worry in the north, because it seems as though Angmar have backed off from Latash. So yes, down to Goblin Town. They've already moved. They're just a bunch of trash that I've just got lying around in a fort. You're there. Wait, yeah, that's the king's units. And then with this bunch of units over here, other than that, anything we can build from this building over here, Burza cool. That will be the last we have. So yeah, we really need to be just... What we want is to be able to build more impressive units from over here. So yeah, they still hold on to these areas, Dale, which is all we can really ask for. Right. So yeah, that's pretty much all we can do for now, because all we can do is continue to build units. I would imagine as well that Mordor are probably going to get pretty peeved that we're going after so many of their holdings. Erebor build? Did I forget to build something in Erebor, did I? Give some money to Dale. Well, I don't think money is so much the issue. Dale have got a fairly wide realm at this point. I think it's... They got the Dale prospering message after all. It can't be Dol Guldur doing damage to Dale either, because Mirkwood are prospering, and that can only mean that they're pushing south. Nazgul returned to Mordor. One of the Nazgul perished, perhaps on their frontline battles with Gondor, which is pretty cool. Unit recruitment. Onazanar. Right, there's a lot of units here that we could do with moving eastward, and so we shall. You go that way. Yes, we did. We forgot to build something in Erebor. Much to my embarrassment. Merchant Bank. Increase in tradable goods. That wouldn't be a bad thing at all, I don't think. Erebor can really be that money-making powerhouse that we need it to be. And unit of Dale Cavalry never hurts. Right then. We could do with the general planting watchtowers down, to be honest with you, but I don't think really that's sufficient as a captain stack. You know what, just take the 2 dwarven labourers as well. How about... Okay, we can still make it back in there. Only generals can commission watchtowers. Yes, that's quite correct. I pulled out the wrong unit. Okay, embarrassing, but perhaps not too surprising. 3 regions nearest Erebor are wealthy, but the rest is just mediocre. Dale has really bad economy though. Yeah, I mean, one problem that we will have as well going through this region is it's not like over here where everything is quite densely packed and we can focus enemies down corridors. Over here, the regions and towns are far apart from one another and it's wide open terrain. So it's going to be more difficult. We're going to need more units over here just so that we can adequately combat Rune. Definitely think we need more units. The barracks is on the way. I mean, is this going to be enough? We've got some mattocks on the way over. Got that on the way over as well. Siege equipment. Maybe if we just move this lot over here. Yeah, we should have enough, to be fair. None of it's especially amazing, but it should be sufficient. Okay. Where do we want these units? I think actually we want the king, because we do want to push in towards Angmar as well, so we do probably want units this way. It also brings the question of what actually to do with King Dane, because I don't actually think Dane is going to be all that useful over here. If we have this gentleman guarding this pass, Dane would probably be better served heading east, I think, actually. Which is probably what we're going to do with him, actually. We can construct a watchtower there to just get rid of that one bit of fog of war. As Dale, I often let Erebor go ham on Rune. Yeah. Well, we have a diplomat over here as well, don't we? No, yes, that's right. We have the diplomat over here. So yeah, maybe we will give Dale a bit of cash, but we need to get our diplomat over there first. Right, I don't know what they intend to do with that, because that's not going to be enough. Thralls and Angmarim units and Hillmen. It's only when they start getting out Iron Crown units and Rudar Huskars that they can actually do any kind of damage to us. Right. There's nothing else to be done at this point in time, I don't think. Build a few more units, I suppose, which, yeah, you know what, we will do, because we need more units to be able to hold on to Goblin Town. You can go this way. Oh, Nazanar is still building stuff? No, it isn't. We're going to have some good armourers over here, though. Do we have any more good units available from Erebor yet? I guess the Stiff-Beard archers are always worth getting. We just need as many archers as we can. Rune will be a good fight. I hope so, because Rune have not done well in the previous 2 campaigns, so it'll be neat to just see them do something on the map. Okay, so Dane's going to go that way. Yeah, we're going to send him east with his son, and then Gimli and regular generals. I think actually, just before we move on, this guy, yeah, he's the Lord of Gundabad, apparently, which is quite the impressive title. Hammer of Gundabad, -1 hit point. Okay, interesting. Cool. Makes sense that he's the steward of Gundabad, so to speak. Right. So, now time for the settlement for which this episode has been named. I heard Rune going Oh right, the yeah, because they can naval invade across the Sea of Rune, can't they? Well, I mean, to be fair, we'll have a look and see how Dorwinian are getting on. But hopefully, if we can just take Rune's northern section of their realm, hopefully Dorwinian can handle the rest. Why are the dwarves often dressed in metal? It's because they are shorter, so it takes less metal to cover them. Well, yeah, they may be shorter, but they're like wide, if you know what I mean. I don't think the difference in terms of actual metal is all that much different. Especially seeing as they have like solid metal plate. Anyway, let's go. It's time for Furore to have his finest hour. Captain Dragu. Do they have Orc Defenders? One unit of Orc Defenders is not going to be enough for them, unfortunately. Let's go. There's no point in joining the Mattox units really, Angel, because I'll do that if I want to fit more units into an army, but other than that you don't save any sort of upkeep by joining the units together, because the upkeep is based on the number of men rather than the number of units. And this gives you a little bit more flexibility, because it's like having... you can order them separately. I do like the look of the Durin's Guard, the Highborns of Erebor unit. Right then. We have archers as well, so that's good. Right, you're not going to be the ones to push the ram up, just in case there are archers that want to do their thing. You will be the ones to push up the ram. We have ballistae, which is nice. Archers, once again the customary lengthy procedure of... Did we loot? No, we didn't. Okay, I was going to say. It'd be very disappointing if we lost an entire unit of Stiffbeards in that last fight, but we did not. Axe throwers will be very useful in the interior of the settlement as well. Hey there, Matt. Nice to have you here. Go there. Then what did we leave behind? Just a couple of units. Fair play. Right, let's go ahead and get things done. They don't have towers in Goblin Town either, I don't think. Much more open than the Reforged version of this map, but that's fine. It's better for the AI for a settlement like this. If it's very constricted and labyrinthine, the AI tends to perform pretty poorly in it. Smaller units also mean less morale though. Yeah, for the dwarves that's not really such a problem, because one of their things is the fact that even their lowest tier of units, the labourers, have got like really good morale for the tier of unit that they have. Which is important, because the dwarves do need to stick in fights longer, because that's how they get their value. They're not like a shock and awe type faction really. Even their shock infantry doesn't really focus on charge bonuses and such. It focuses on big damage values and being able to withstand more punishment than typical units of the class. But yeah, we should be absolutely fine here. They don't even have a general's unit. Like if they had a unit of goblins bodyguards, at least then they would have a unit which is fairly capable in melee. But I think the most dangerous unit they have in melee are the Orc Raider unit, the Mountain Orc Raider unit. There they are, the Mountain Orc Berserkers essentially. But even like look at them. I know what type of weapon we're going to be using to deal with them. Soon as well, we will actually be able to get some dwarven catapults out, because like I said, we did build a catapult maker somewhere, I remember it, and I think it was one of the settlements on the interior side of the Ered Mithrin mountain range. They can move forward. So can they. We do want to get a front line going pretty quickly, because that's where we're going to be very much at home. Are they going to come forward? No, they're just going to retreat back to the town centre, which is marvellous for us. Gives us an opportunity to set up a nice killing field with our artillery. I don't really intend to expand too far westward into Eriador. The furthest west point I would be looking to take would be Carndum, but I wouldn't really mind if Ered Luin took that either. Hey there, Morris. Yeah, but hopefully the Northern Dunedain and the High Elves now, when we take Goblin Town, hopefully that'll take the wind out of Moria's sails a little bit. Take away some of their strength, and hopefully that should have a knock-on effect in Erebor. Because we will be chipping in against, you know, Moria and Angmar are the two which often tend to be the spanner in the works for the Northern Dunedain. So hopefully Aragorn and his boys will be able to get things sorted. One more and we shall be through.
Our men have done well. The gates have fallen.
Good. Go there. Go there. And actually, yeah, we will group our units up first. Axe throwers. Go over there. General, go there. And that's pretty much everything, except for the Mattocks, who we will get into place. Okay, the fact that you take down Moria and the Mountains of Angmar is going to change everything in Eric. Well, yeah, that's the great hope. Hopefully they can... hopefully that'll make everything much easier on the western side, because eventually Gondor is going to fall, especially with Rohan now losing to Isengard. Isengard and Mordor are going to be big factors on the map. So hopefully... Well, Enidwaith are already at war with Isengard and losing badly, Hrothgar. So... And I don't think Dunland are doing, like, amazingly. I think they're just doing kind of average. We haven't really heard much of Dunland, which means they're not prospering, but they're not struggling either. As soon as everything's in, we'll get our... Okay, so the ballistas are not in... do not have sufficient room to fire. And, yeah, so you are going to be the very centre of things. A couple of Mattocks on the sides. Archers. Be interested to see actually how the Misty Mountains do here, because they definitely have a big numbers advantage, but they always have a big numbers advantage. Tharbad. Yeah, well, Dunland always take Tharbad, don't they? It's part of their auto expansion, isn't it? What is this? Warg Scouts, I think not. Kill them if you please. Yeah, this is going to get rid of them nice and quickly. I do like the fact that Moria have got tools like this. I like the fact they try and use their cunning. It's going to be enough to kill them off very quickly. Yeah, start firing in there. Start taking pot shots. And we'll move forward on this side as well. Good. I don't like how quiet it is, to be honest. Can we... Tell you what we'll do. We will turn up the sound effects, I think, in battle, and then we'll remember to turn it down afterwards. That'll have to be the way. You can help the elves and the Dunedain by giving them money every once in a while. You have the economic power to do that. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, like the High Elves... It takes them a while to really get going, but they don't really need help in that way. The Dunedain might, but like the elves, it's more questionable. Shoot them. Shoot them. Okay, that was a bit of a shame. I think they're gonna... Go off to the side there. That's fine. Yeah,
Smash the enemy.
exactly what you would expect. Orc defenders doing their thing. Remember to shoot over towards the units that are at the back. Axe throwers. You go up that way, you go down here. This is where we see the fragility of the goblins in full effect. Yes, here we go. Actually, no, go after those Snaga there. They're going to try and go into melee. Ow, rude. Shoot at them. There's a lot of arrows coming our way. Okay, we'll just get into melee then. We'll just deal with them the old-fashioned way. We're actually taking damage there. There we go. I prefer YouTube streaming. Well, YouTube streaming's easy for me because it's where my channel is. If I had to build up again from my nothing on Twitch, that would not really be too great for me. The Erebor infantry is actually losing, which is a little bit concerning. Throw your last axe. There we go. Good. What is this? How are they still alive? For crying out loud. I swear, wargs are the most annoying little shits in this game. Shoot at them point blank and you'll kill them. Yeah. Know that Twitch streamer? I'm really not interested in that, Matt. When are you getting your cam back? I'm not sure, because lockdown has made that... I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's that important anyway. If I'm being brutally honest, it's not really... It doesn't really add anything to a stream like this, but... I mean, I don't really know when I'm going to get it back anyway, so... Right, we will go forth. Once again, we're throwing our poor Northman archers into the breach. Right, can we please kill them? I told you to shoot at the wargs and you're shooting at something completely different. Wow, what is that accuracy, lads? They're right next to you. We're going to lose a ballista for that. Incredible scenes of fraudulence there from Dwarven archers. Right, good. They're gone. Actually, they're still online. Fair play to them. Go after the Snaga archers. Wargs fighting against Angmar. I mean, yeah. Orc defenders doing pretty well again. Erebor infantry doing okay, but not an amazing unit for their tier. I do not believe. Right, these axe throwers are actually doing the business now, so can't ask for more than that. We've got the upgraded goblins here as well, so they've got a little bit of armour. But not enough, to be sure. A few Stonefoots in here, still 28 Durin Guard. Or Durin's Guard. Fire at them. They're out of ammunition now, so we'll move them in as well. Everyone needs to do their bit. Still got a few mountain orc hunters, I suppose. Actually, yeah, this middle section's not looking amazing, so if you move in there to shore things up, the Mattock's defeat seems certain. By whose judgment? They're shaken. 4 Mattocks still fighting hard. Right, we've got to get in to help this 11. Well, those are Uruk Overseers, to be fair. So yeah, get in there. Which one do you think was the easiest? This one would be the easiest. But that might just be because of the chance of... It could have been very different with a couple of those battles against Gundabad early on, and I suppose that is the trendsetter. Lorien was definitely the hardest, but that was because of the decision to try and save Rohan when they clearly weren't up to the task. These Uruk Overseers are actually doing pretty nicely, but we should be okay, he said, nervously. Right, are they gone? Okay. We'll get the axe throwers into place to shoot. Actually, yeah, just fire in there now. Just fire your payload while you still can. They're out of ammo, so we'll move them in. This guy is... well, I guess it is Mountain Orc Hunters, to be fair, that he is fighting. That might be enough to get these goblins to break. This is like a classic dwarven battle under the mountains. Yeah, charge into them. Those Snaga archers have been a little bit of a pain. Can you please throw as a unified unit, and can you please point the right bloody way? Right, good, they're routing. Keep firing into them. We've only got 19 of our general's unit left, although to be fair... Gonna fire that last bolt of yours? Ah, right, yes. We should move in behind enemy lines.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
They're running away. Charge in there. Get a little bit closer. Very close, actually, this one. Right, throw your axes at them. Okay, yeah, they're just going after the stiff-beard archers, actually. Just need to kill off these axemen. Surprised they're so sturdy, actually, given the fact that they're wearing nothing but pelts. I mean, I don't know what you expect me to help my general with, Hrothgar. Everything is engaged. A lot of people's advice is very odd. It's like they're not really aware of the situation at hand. Like, buy more units. Okay, what with? Help this unit. Okay, but what with? It's a very bizarre way of looking at things. Like, I'm not so foolish that I would just throw my general away if I had any other option. back seating has gotten... It wasn't so bad earlier on in the process of the streams, but it's gotten progressively worse as the parts have gone on, which is strange. I can see why it's something that a lot of people find quite annoying, but such is the way of things, I suppose. Okay. Not that that's a slight against anyone in particular, but
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we
what
will
is going on here? Oh, to have some speed. They're still fighting something. What is it? Oh, overseers? Yeah, finish them off. Where is our general? Speaking of that. Oh, there he is. Yeah, can you actually fight the people who are stabbing you in the back? Or are you just going to stand there and gormlessly die? They keep perpetually routing because they're on the town centre. I mean, we will win this, but it's a case of whether we keep the general or not. Depends what type of crossbows, Matt. A lot of the lower tier ones aren't very good because they don't have armour piercing for whatever reason, which is their whole reason for being. The higher tier ones are just fine though. 41 stiff-beard archers. Snaga archers. So we'll just get the ballista crew in to help deal with these Snaga. Where are you at? Well, this was actually more of an exciting one than I thought it was originally going to be, but still. Nice to see Goblin Town. And we should be fine. Unless the general cops an unlucky blow, but I don't think that's going to be likely against Goblin infantry. Nor against Snaga archers. Reforged units have lower armour too. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we have 200 men remaining. Killed a lot. I mean, we were outnumbered by more than 1,000 units. Lots of our units getting lots of kills. Always nice to see that when you're facing off against the goblins. All crossbows have AP and DAC. I don't think that's true. I don't think the some of them don't. The entry level Dorwinian one doesn't. Anyway, Goblin Town. I think we have elven territories right near us as well, so we should be pretty good. Right, well, we need to exterminate the populace from here, definitely. Right, yeah, this is a Rudauer town. Ah, Imladris reached. Okay, so now, I mean, this is a border with a faction we are at war with, so that is worth bearing in mind. This is probably not going to be enough to hold on to things here for much time. We'll go for an armory. Khazad-dûm diplomat. Right. I don't believe either yeah, there are no mercenaries available. So he's just going to hang out. Dane's already moved. I'm pretty sure we've already done all that we can. It would be worth bringing these 4 down this way, actually. Don't need to hold that fort anymore. And that is everything, I think. It always gets hard to keep track of all of this stuff in the late game, where you're convinced you've missed something. Right. Oh, that's not really what I wanted to do, but sure. Okay, so we don't have a border with that territory there. Okay. Well, we'll see what Angmar do, because they could make a play to try and take Goblin Town immediately. But I don't think they have visual on us, so we'll see. Khazad-dûm would fall. The lowest tier of Dorwinian crossbows fell. I know they've got a few. I mean, that's what was it. That was what was said in the faction overview made by Arakia. So if that's wrong, you can blame him for false information. But I'm just relaying what I heard. Right then. No, fair play. Meithelberg is still in Goblin hands, but I mean not for much longer with the sheer amount of Anduin armies that are roaming around. I mean, I suppose with Dane on the way over as well, we can use him as another general in the east, as well as Thorin. But I am interested to see how Angmar approach this. I don't think, like I said, I don't think they shouldn't have visibility on Goblin Town, so I don't know if they know whether it's fallen or not. Doubtless we shall find out momentarily, though, because we're not going to be able to hold on to a Goblin Town. Oh no, they didn't attack. Good. Gives us time to recover and set up a defensive position. Faror, the conqueror of Goblin Town, will get married to Blid. What a name. Imladris is besieged. Who cares? They're going to repulse the goblins as they always do. Caer Andros still hasn't fallen. Right, we've got a lot of building to do in pretty much everywhere. And there's a lot of recruitment as well. Okay. Right then, Natash. We should... What sort of culture are we rolling with? Really terrible culture. Poor levels of culture, so we should probably go with a pub. Just because otherwise it's going to be so long before we can actually do anything. A mining complex wouldn't be the worst thing. But I do think a pub would be the superior choice. You go that way. You can actually go into that fort, because that will give us free upkeep on some fairly pricey units. Dane, keep moving this way. You keep going that way. Yes, right. We should continue to make watchtowers in this region. Just so we've got a bit of an early warning against any runic shenanigans. I guess they do have AP then. I guess Arakia was mistaken. Right, Fel Kazash. What are we actually doing here? What is going on? Yeah, military build policy, I knew it. Kirit Gathol. Right, we want to be building more recruitment places. We've already got artillery that we can utilise later, so we will go for an Orikani Royal Hall, I think. And we will definitely be building some King's units over here as well. Merchant Bank is still being built, still building units there. Yeah, that's what we want to see. I mean, I suppose we could probably get away with moving Gimli forward, to be honest with you, to maybe go after Mount Graham. I mean, it's a risky prospect, but we do have some units that can garrison Litash. I'll tell you what we'll do. We have a spy here. So we've got units. Armies on the way. Next turn we'll have a look. If Mount Graham is empty, we'll go forward with Gimli and just capture it immediately. And that should really be starting to take the wind out of Angmar's sails, even if they can't see it. Or even if we can't see it, rather. And move you across as well. Now, this is the place where we built a... No, this wasn't where we built a ballista maker. Was it Dane's Halls where we built the catapult maker? Or did we build a catapult maker? And am I just going crazy? Well, no matter. Got an armourer there. Anyway. Really not much else to be doing at the moment. I suppose if we're waiting for Dane to get here to lead the force, we should just bring them back to Kirit Gathol and be happy with that. Okay. Fair enough. Ah yes, Rakiburg. I'll move you forwards as well, because we do need a solid enough defence at Goblin Town. Actually, they would see what's in Goblin Town, wouldn't they? Because they've got a diplomat there. Okay. I think we forgot to build something in Berzakul, didn't we? That's a shame. That needs to be our... Have you ever played Lego Lord of the Rings? Not really, although I did play like 10 minutes of it once when I was shopping in town at the HMV that was there when it was new. This was a long time ago, obviously, but it was like on the demo selection, so I had a quick mess around with it then. I have played the Lego Star Wars games though, the first Lego Star Wars. Genesis of the Lego games. So what will Angmar do? Nothing, apparently. I suppose at this point Angmar have probably got enemies on all sides, so I guess it does kind of make sense. Fenris Druinin assaulted. That's interesting. Maybe Angmar have pushed all the way down there. Construction report. Erebor and Witherboard. So, yes, we did miss a turn of construction here, which is a shame, but we can make do. Right, we should, yeah, I mean, culture's going up pretty quickly here at this point. So perhaps what we should be doing is getting ready to recruit units en masse here. Let's go for an armourer. Ah, we do have some Angmarim on the way forward. Right then. We'll deal with that in a second then, because for a start I want to move all of our units beforehand. And now that we have military access, there's no need to be too concerned about that. We're having to march across our entire realm with Dane. Erebor. We already have Cav, but I mean it doesn't hurt to have even more. Yeah, we'd have a pretty strong and solid army with all of that there. Construct a watchtower there. Yeah, so we can see the main route into our territory from that direction now as well. Hope Amazon will not schmuck Lord of the Rings. Well, I was gonna make a video on that, to be honest, and I still might, because I do have a few things that I would like to say about that. I'm not all that optimistic though. Right? Yes, Erebor. What to build in Erebor? Merchant's Quarter. Yeah, I think it would make sense actually for Erebor to not even focus all that much on recruitment, to be honest with you. Because I mean, we can recruit Axguard of Erebor here and Iron Fist Hammers and Blacklocks, but other than that, like basic stuff would be fine. If we just go fully in for the money, maybe that would be a good idea. go for a merchant's quarter. Already making over 7,000 coins. Right, Witherboard. Go for a healer's post. Just for the public health benefits that entails. Right, recruitment reports. We already know about that. Alliance announced between Ered Luin and the Northern Dunedain. Fantastic. I'm amazed it took this long. Retinue expands. Runa's still financially a bit of a powerhouse. Right then. Let's get these boys in here. What are they rolling with here? Nothing that impressive, to be honest. Right, let's deal with them. Let's fight the Angmarin. Right, they have the numbers advantage, but none of this stuff is even tier 2. This is all stuff that they can build pre-barracks event. Good. Then we shall deal with them accordingly. Shadow of War depends. I think as a game, in terms of its gameplay, it does a lot of stuff that's really quite good. If you're there for the Lord of the Rings lore, however, I would urge caution. Right, so we also have a bit of a terrain advantage here. We're in the rather barren and featureless land of Northern Rudour. Right, cavalry. They have no cavalry either, so this should be a good battle for us. I don't think they even have much in the way of archers, so it's really a ragtag army that they've deigned to send our way. So yeah, we'll draw them in. We're the attackers, so they will probably pull back, but I don't know where to because we have all of the terrain on our side. Right. The battle being what it is, I'm going to try and preserve the lives of as much of my really elite stuff as we can. Actually, you know what? Gimli will use a bit more freely, but we will try and keep the Axe Guard of Erebor and the Hammers of Gundabad back a little bit, because we don't want to be utilising them. Actually, that's a good point. We need to have a look at these units, because we haven't seen the King's units in action just yet. The King's Axes, they may not be the monsters that lurk just in behind them, in the Axe Guard of Erebor, and especially the Hammers of Gundabad over there, but they're still a very accomplished unit of shock infantry, and the King's Shields, which obviously are a unit of very nice, solid spearmen. Right. Axe throwers, however, I want to use them a little bit more freely. They will be very useful for breaking up the Angmarim infantry. And then this group can just be in behind the archers. Stop right there, criminal Uruk. There they are. Okay. And then axe throwers can go there. Gimli can go with them. And these units can be in reserve as well. Are they coming up to get us? Oh, I am surprised they're actually moving towards us. Okay. Well, actually, with that in mind, maybe we can actually probably get away with utilising the Axe Guard, because they're going to be... Get you around. There's plenty of targets to go after. Rudour pikemen as well are going to be an especially weak target. Good. They did have a unit of wargs, did they not? That was... No, I guess not. They are running for the hills unceremoniously, although they should take enough damage, to be fair, where they turn around and charge in. Marvellous. Yeah, you lot can fire at will as well, actually. Yeah, it's good. Are you kidding? They take so long to get set. It's such a pain. Okay, they are actually getting some volleys off, which is nice. Good damage, good damage. Okay, that's a lot of damage actually. I'm impressed. Okay. So with that, we can move in with the basic infantry, and they can just sit there. And those are pikes, which is maybe a bit more of a concern, so we should get right around the back with you. Yeah, and they're spears, so we'll just go around the back with the cav. Of course you're the one to get into melee.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
The injured one. Yes, Baruch Khazad indeed. Okay, enough of this nonsense. Right, that's a little bit of a pain in the arse as well. Again, the AI only ever seems to do stuff when you're like, when you turn your head. It's like they know. Just charge in there, deal with this absolute garbage that they've decided to send our way. You wriggle away. Good. Oh, they're routing. Good. Everything's routing cleanly. Might be enough to finish them off as well, to be honest. Get in there, get in there, get in there. Where are the king's axes? There they are. Yeah, we didn't take that many losses in the end, to be honest. Ooh, get away from the pikes. You can chase down the routing ones, but I don't want you going after the healthy boys. One ring to rule them all in Black Speech. Nazg the Munaluk. Right, hang on. Nope. After the Orc fighters. Yeah, keep going after them. Actually, go after them as well. Okay. Yeah. Run them down. This is a good opportunity to build up some experience in our Dale Cav, actually, which does need it if it's going to be performing the role of late game cavalry for us, because it's our only option. Yeah, but we were quite fortunate here because that wasn't a particularly strong Angmar army. They had none of the units which would be good against us. No Northguard, no Rudar Huskarls, no Iron Crown Halberdiers, no Dark Blades. Yeah, here we go. After them. Captain falls. Hillman units, yeah. I mean, like, the Hillmen is like their tier 1 entry-level line infantry. Along with the Angmarim infantry, but the Angmarim infantry are a little better, I suppose. And then the Thralls are like the entry spear that they get. It's neat that they get a tier 1 pike though. The Rudar pikeman, if you were playing as Angmar, would be very useful because you can use pikes better than the AI can. Gonna catch them? That rock might get in the way. Yeah, it did. A shame. Farming experience. Go after them. And after that we'll probably end the battle. Guardians of Kharn-Dûm. No, I don't know about that, Hrothgar, because to be honest, as long as we stay into a nice shape, the Guardians of Kharn-Dûm are less of a problem, whereas the Dark Blades, they force us to move forwards, because they have a massive amount of range, massive ranged advantage over us. Yeah, and also the Guardians, they're one of those units where the AI probably won't train that many of them, especially now that Angmar are probably going to start to collapse. It's not like Mordor where you can sort of have with some certainty the knowledge that you're going to be seeing at some point a fairly healthy amount of temple units and great beasts and that sort of thing. Yeah, no, we're executing you. Latash isn't happy, but can we change that? No, that's not what I want. Oh, we can't make it, are you serious? Can you make it to Latash? No, can you? You can. Well, they're going to start to riot, but... Okay, hold on a second. Construct a watchtower. Okay, there's Mount Graham. Ooh, they actually have a decent little force in there. No matter. We will deal with it accordingly. In time. Right, we've already moved everything else, haven't we? Yeah, these four don't need to be here either. Free upkeep on units like that is not important, and they can be used as a garrison force elsewhere. We can actually build. We can start building units here anyway. Okay, good. We can possibly take Mount Graham as well. All of your archers are tier 1 level of range, yeah. Which is a problem, which is why I don't want to move into Dark Blades. Iron Crown Halberds, though, as well, one thing that is against them is the fact that our axe throwers would be so good against them. They're pretty much the best counter we have to phalanx units. The same will apply to the Gamp Rim when we start running into them. Dark Blades don't have AP. Yeah, but they have good range and decent base damage, Val. I don't want to just sort of sit there and take all of the punishment they can dish out. Yeah, we're good at taking arrow fire, but again, you don't want to just sort of sit back and yeah, and especially to our shock infantry as well. Like, as much as our shock infantry is also very heavily armoured, they also have a real tendency for going after like javelin units, so stuff like axe throwers will be a target of theirs, which of course we don't want. Edoras' siege, so yeah, Rohan continues their downfall. Oh, Nazanar, so now we have, yeah, we got rioting in Latash, but there's no need to concern ourselves because we now have units that are garrisoning the place. Oh, they didn't... Where did that army go then? Did it go back to Morvatarth? Yeah, I guess it did. Intriguing. Right, we'll take that place. So we've got a nice fort on this side of Goblin Town for some potential free upkeep, but I doubt that will ever be too much of a problem. How are Anduin making such a meal of taking Mythelberg back? They had a full army over there a minute ago, didn't they? Why didn't they just take it back? Weird. Anyway, Goblins won't be able to retake Goblin Town. They have no chance. Right, can we build anything really nice in Onazanar? An army barracks probably would be really nice. Sons of the Fallen we can build in this place. So where do we get Dragon Slayers from would be my question. Hall of Aule. That's the best blacksmith that we have. Where are our Dragon Slayers? Unless this doesn't count as an Ered Mithrin region. Is maybe Dane's Halls the only place we can build them then? That would be my question. Yeah, Dragon Slayers, okay. So yeah, in Azanar we cannot build Dragon Slayers, which is a shame, but we can build Sons of the Fallen. The question is, do we want the Aulian plate immediately? They only come from Latash and Khan Doom, maybe Mount Graham. Well, I mean, Khan Doom is right there, so that is something to be concerned about. Obviously, Latash is not such a problem because we can. We already have Latash. Iron Crown longbows, yeah, that's another thing that can force us out of shape. I really want to get that maximum armor, but it doesn't really help us too much if we can't actually build anything as it stands. 5 turns on that, 6 turns on that, 8 turns on the Hall of Aule. Right, what do we get? So we get the Iron Guard, basically, and the Sons of the Fallen, which would be, that would be good, that would be nice, so let's go for it. This is, after all, almost entirely a recruitment province, much in the same way that Faluk Ozadul up here is going to be. So it makes sense. Makes sense, actually, that we start building just regular units up here now. Right. What are we doing? Yes. So we don't have any artillery in Gimli's army, so he does need to just sort of sit here and siege. Mount Graham, I think, is one of those settlements where, again, it's just a gate, isn't it? I mean, I suppose it doesn't hurt to have a couple of ladders on hand just in case, but we will maintain the siege. Right. Everything else. Kirit Cathol. You've already moved. We can't really build anything interesting where you're at right now. Nope. 1 turn until roads are complete. Nothing else interesting. Yulstone. An armory is almost built. Gundabad, yes. I knew we were missing something, and it is Gundabad. We're rapidly gaining culture here. What would we like here? Build the stoneworkers first. Stoneworkers Guild House. Yeah, I guess that would be a good thing to have in Gundabad, because we're going to be developing Gundabad fully as well, much like Dane's Halls and Erebor and Kirit Cathol, I suppose. 5,114 on Kirit Cathol already. Yes. You know what? We've got enough of an early warning at this point. We've got enough visibility. We'll put you back in there. Right. Other than that, it's that part of the campaign where I'm always paranoid that I'm missing something, and I very often am, because of the amount of territories that you have. According to Gally, you should also be able to get Dragon Slayers from Gundabad and Berzakul. Well, good. Berzakul is going to be a recruitment province, so Berzakul, much like Onazanar, is going to be like entirely. Oh, good. They took. They still don't have Mythelberg back, but they're surrounding it with tiny little captain stacks. Oh yeah, my diplomat was going to go over to Dale and give them a bit of cash, wasn't I? Well, let's be fair, I think I'm actually losing money at this point. So that's worth bearing in mind, actually, the fact that we, in terms of overall units, we may have actually reached our capacity before we actually start pushing our treasury to breaking point. So that is something to consider. Of course, we can also supplement our treasury with just killing enemy armies, but right, well, I mean, that's going to be a bit of a formality, really. So they're there like that. Right, we can actually put 4 units and get free upkeep from them. Right, so they're there already. So yeah. No, we are making money, but still, it's nice to have the free upkeep as well. Right, construction reports: Goblin Town and Rakyberg. So Goblin Town, we should be With an armory, we should be looking to increase the culture here. Although a Master Stoneworkers Hall would also be quite nice. A brewery is very, very cheap anyway. And a Rakiaberg. I mean, a port isn't necessarily the worst thing. We don't really have ships as such, but I guess the Anduin man the ships for us. So, yeah, we'll go with that. We do need to keep upgrading our economy at this point. Right then. Can we actually fit all of these units into Kirit Gathol? I think we can. It doesn't matter anyway, because I've well and truly messed that up. They've already moved. Felkazash. Still nothing from Rune over here. That's still a Dalian territory, as is that. So yeah, they're not losing ground rapidly to Rune, so I'm happy enough with that. What's going on here? So Rune have actually taken Strondost, which is a little bit concerning. It does mean that we... Well, actually, no, they haven't taken Strondost, but they will. Like, it's definitely on the menu at this point. So we do need to start moving a little bit more quickly. As soon as Dane is over here, though, we will be able to. Can we build anything over here yet? Nope, absolutely nothing. With the treasury being what it is, I don't really want to just be building any old rubbish. An armourer. Okay, yeah. So we will fight this one, even though it's a formality, just because I do want to see Mount Graham. Oh, Drangu the Bloody is here. So this is the unique general that starts off as the leader of Mount Graham, really, isn't it? He's a unique general. He's got some orc defenders with him. And he's the mounted warg archer. Cool. Well, actually, yeah, then yeah, it's worth fighting this, because while he's only a 4-star general, the general does mean that they probably will do a little bit more damage than would be necessary. Yeah, this is going to be a problem for... a building problem for Angmar. We won't really have the... I don't really want to take Khandum immediately, because I think... I don't know how it would work, but I think we would risk triggering a Doom stack if we just dove right on in and took Khandum. But also it would overextend us a little bit, and it would put at risk all of the gains we have made. Oh yes, Windy actually played on this map recently, I think, in his campaign. With how his campaign has developed, he's had to sort of hug the Misty Mountains and go up this way. So yeah, this is pretty cool. It's pretty nice defensible. I think it's more defensible actually than Goblin Town is. So what's going on this side? There's a nice little lake. It's quite a nice map stylistically. It's a little yeah, okay. Right, anyway. So we only need one pushing up the ram, so you can go there, like so. Everyone else. Right, and we don't need ladders either. Right. You know what, we don't even really need to be all that clever about things here, because this is a mountain settlement, so it's going to be sort of individual units doing the work. We'll just blob into a shape. Okay. Get some archers forward, or at least we will try. Right, what do we want on the front? Probably some King's Shields, because they do have that mounted unit. And we'll push up the axe throwers as well. And perhaps we shall... We've got the archers necessary. We'll push you up, because we might as well look to throw you under the bus, actually. Any units that are really low, we'll just throw on in against the orc defenders. And I guess as a final wave, we'll send up some King's Axes and Gimli. Right then. Let's have a little look at what's going on in here. Be a very nice defensive faction for archers, or defensive position for archers, because you could put defences on either side as they come in, either side of the approach, and shoot directly into them, which would be pretty nasty. Right, where is Drangu? Is this him? Looks fairly basic. Him and his boys with their armoured up wargs. There was not that city northeast from Bramsberg once. What, Rakyaberg? Right, here we go. Right, pushing this ram up the hill is going to take a while. And then it's a reinforced gate as well. Eolstone. That's northwest.
Our men have reached the gate with a battering ram.
Eolstone definitely has a look of a settlement that was added a little bit later, though, because it's just sort of right in the middle of that pass there.
Done well. The gates have fallen.
Right then. So, I mean, we can pretty much do as we please here because we have a big terrain advantage. I don't know how much we can actually push that. Right, we'll push you in. You. And what else can we push in? It was you, wasn't it? There was, yes. So you can go in. And then it was also the axe throwers.
We have captured the enemy's walls.
So first into the breach, going to be the Iron Hills Mattocks Old Faithful. And the King's Shields and some Erebor infantry as well. We good. Yeah, I mean, if we get attacked as well, it'd probably be from that side of the settlement, wouldn't it, as well? So we don't even have to deal with the enemy having a potential nice terrain feature on this side. So yeah, we should be able to hold on to this fairly indefinitely from Angmar attacks from the south. Someone must have just come back, if the dog's barking. Okay, so you're going to come forwards, which is fair enough. I shall be all too happy to see you do so. Let's see if you can run into place, because if you can, we'll be able to simply shoot them. They're going to have pretty good shots on us as we move down. Let's shoot them. Ow. My units are winded already. Right, yeah, this is going to be a lot of arrows coming his way. Hopefully. They look fairly bulky though in terms of their armour, so they will take a bit of a beating. You would assume, oh dear, Drangu. Drangu. You poor fool. Right, you go there. You go there. Gimli. Yeah, he's done for. What else do we have? Erebor infantry. Go that way. You go that way, and you go that way. And that's pretty much everything we have, isn't it? Okay, yeah. King's Shields have taken a few. We're probably taking more friendly fire by doing that, actually. Yeah, just leave the King's Shields to do their thing. Drangu is doomed if he's in melee with... Where is Drangu himself? I think this is him, isn't it? He's getting skewered. Yeah, go after them. They're going to try and escape, I bet. Okay. You go like so. Surprised actually that they're still hanging on in and amongst all of these spears. I mean, as I say that, of course, they immediately perish. Good. We took quite a lot of friendly fire there. I should always remember that friendly fire can be fairly extreme. Right, shoot at them. Alright, and we should be able to get some really nice damage done with our axe throwers over here. You'd hope. It's like playing as the elves again. Not entirely, Val. I mean, if you notice, there's like the hexagonal armor, which I actually prefer on the King's units here. It could be that that hexagonal armor actually changes to the armor that Reforged has for the Ironfoot units when you upgrade the armor, which I think would be a bit of a shame actually, because I prefer them as they are now, but no matter. Oh, are they in melee? Okay, yeah. No matter. We can deal with them the old-fashioned way. Yes, I should certainly hope so. Come on, one volley. Oh, you're not going to be able to get it, are you? Oh no, you will. Point blank as well. Good. Didn't kill many though, did you? Oh well. Yeah, Gimli has not taken a single loss to these lowly orc defenders. All is as it should be. Oh, come on lads, throw your axes. Help your fellow axe throwers out a bit. That is so frustrating when only a portion of the unit decides to throw. This should be the entire unit though, they're all winding up for a shot. There we go. Yeah, they're dying off very quickly. Exactly what you want to be seeing. Still a fair few of these. Ah, good. Losing a fair few axe throwers actually. We are fighting uphill against them, I suppose. Right, you actually pull across and you go and help them out. You're not doing much there anyway. Well, Gimli has taken a couple of losses now. Gimli himself is actually right in and amongst things. Yeah, you get up there. You seem to have hit your critical mass and steamrolling fairly early in this campaign. Do you think Rune or Mordor will put up a decent fight? Holy shit! Oh, for crying out loud. Orc defenders, really? Come on, you got to do better than that. Very apt picture as well. No, you mad, I swear, you can throw your general into melee, they never die. And he dies to orc defenders. Hilarious. Had to open your mouth, Calvin, didn't you? Oh dear. I swear. People... Orc defenders. Well, I mean, we may as well get the use out of these boys while we still can. I swear, like generals, like people say no, you can throw them in, but we've seen now twice with 2 named generals that have got loads of HP that is not necessarily the case. "10 hit points my left and right." Well, I mean, it's something to deal with, I suppose. I mean, I disagree, Val. I mean, I do these things on experience, and I'm not taking people at their word anymore with regards to generals. Because clearly it's not served me well. Hill bonus only affects fatigue, though, Hrothgar. Only affects fatigue. I mean, as funny as it is, that is still highly questionable. It's very annoying, really, when you think of it that way, but oh well. It is what it is. I'm not going to save scum it. A lot of people probably would actually save scum that, because that was bullshit, but I'm going to carry on with it. Let this be a lesson. That general we had in the last battle as well, who is nowhere near Gimli's equal in terms of the retinue that he had, fought against all of those goblins and was successful. Right, can we finish off these orc defenders, please? You're making a right meal of this. Like, these guys are trash. They're actual garbage, and you're struggling against them? Come on. No, generals don't heal up like that, 2020. They die. When they die in battle, that's it. They're done.
Look how our cowardly foe runs. It is to be in awe of the victory we have won.
Well, Gimli has fallen spectacularly. Again, in much the same way as Haldia, it was to an embarrassingly weak foe. He fought off pretty much on his own at the gates of Gundabad, the Gundabad Doomstack, and he dies to what can only be described as some of the worst units that Angmar can bring to bear. And it... this game's really testing my patience now. That's a crash. Well, I mean, we might get Gimli back as a result of that crash. Because we will have to fight the battle again. Albeit this time it will obviously be an auto-resolve. Yeah, that is a crash. Oh, Medieval 2. You are a pig. Gimli has returned from the dead. You love to see it. Back again. Oh Jesus! I need to turn the audio down right quick. Right. Now then, now we shall do the video settings. Grass detail. Just go for this and. Alright then, here we go. We have mode game, mode campaign, autosave. What was the autosave? The autosave was after, wasn't it? It wouldn't have been after the battle because it was mid-battle, so it wouldn't have saved anyway. Let's go here. It didn't have a chance to auto-save because it didn't even get onto the end turn. Well, I mean, in auto-resolve, generals don't generally get killed unless the whole stack dies, and with the best will in the world, Drangu isn't going to be able to do that. Yes, the will of the Valar. We just couldn't... We simply would not be able to survive without Gimli, Liberator of Gundabad. Okay, so yeah, it was... We have to pass the turn, basically. Right, so, yeah, it was at the start of this turn, basically. Okay. Man. What a... I guess it is destiny. I wasn't going to save Scum Gimli back into life. I was going to allow him to remain killed. And it would have been a named general that we actually do lose in the course of the campaign, but I guess not. He returns. Stronger than ever before. I shudder to think at the amount of pipe tobacco it would take for a dwarf to develop lung cancer. Also, liver failure is just something that I don't think the dwarves are susceptible to. They can hold their liquor. Right, Mladris is besieged. Now then. Right, first things first, let's... Oh, for crying out loud. Right. Rakyaberg and Goblin Town, so yes, Goblin Town. First things first, we'll get back into the position we were in beforehand. So yes, a brewery. You in there. Over there. Some free upkeep on them. Dane. This gives me an opportunity actually to get into Kirit Cathol with these boys. Successfully this time around. They're fine. Rakyaberg, which I think we built a port in, didn't we? Yes, we did. Now then. Now that we know what Mount Graham looks like, we will auto-resolve this one. Gimli, son of Gloin, the Immortal, lost 320 men in that. None of which were Hammers of Gundabad, which is good. Lost a few Axe Guard. Actually, we can combine those Axe Guard of Erebor now so that we've got a little bit more of a neat... Right, yeah, exterminate the populace because Mount Graham is theirs from the start. 2,000 coins. Good. We were getting a bit poor for a second there. We were almost going to go below 30,000. Unheard of. Right, new family member, Locke. And bits and pieces. Yeah, Mordor is starting to pull ahead of Gondor now in terms of overall strength. You start heading over there. Yeah, you go in there. And you go in there. Perfect. So that's 2 full units of Axe Guard. The rest of these boys are fine as well. Right, Mount Graham. We need to repair a lot of these. Actually, no, what are we doing? We don't want to repair that. We want to destroy the Warg camp. Is there a hillman building here as well? There isn't actually. Good. Right, so we're already repairing, and we shall build an armory. Right then, so I think that's all we can do again. Maybe we can get away with just sending a captain stack down. Got a full army here now at this point. Probably won't bother taking the labourers because they can just stay behind and help garrison Kirit Cathol. How long will Dane take to get over there? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Be interesting to see how Angmar actually responds to that. Okay. Now we shall pass the turn. Like it never happened. Not intentionally. The game itself just couldn't handle the fact that Gimli was no longer on the map, I suppose, and was like, no, I refuse to go on. We'll just say he slipped and fell over and knocked himself out as he rolled down the ramp. Yeah, the population of Goblin Town was exterminated. It's Goblin from the start. I mean, it's one of the few places on the map that isn't somewhere where the goblins have just sort of moved in and made it their own. Oh, a candidate for adoption. Door. Yes. Osgiliath has been lost, so yeah, Gondor begin their descent. Mordor will push forward. I don't really want more of a Tarth, to be honest with you. Oh, hello, what's this? Is that... oh, that's him. This guy. He's the... he's an actual general, isn't he? Yes, Darkblades. So he's... Right, you get into Litash. You two can combine. So yeah, he's an actual guy. Construction report, ooh, pretty much everywhere. Okay. Litash. Drunken hallucination. Right, what do we want to build here? We need to wait for the culture to tick over. So there's not a lot of point in building the army barracks, really. Maybe Durin's armory? Or a pig farm? Just to help with that growth. Yeah, because I mean, if they attack soon, they're not going to go for that anyway, so yeah, we'll go for the pig farm. Right, you. We are still waiting for the Dwarven... I mean, 45% Dwarven culture is not bad, but we do still need, really... Right, can we build... No, we can't build Dragon Slayers here. We can build Sons of the Fallen again. So Sons of the Fallen are much more widespread, it seems, than Dragon Slayers, but for now, we'll just go for another Armourer. And be happy with that. Yulstone. Again, we've got military build policy, which we don't want. You can manage your settlements easily with the settlement list instead of going to each one individually. Yeah. I like going to each one individually though, because it gives me a better sense if like there's units that have moved around I haven't seen on the turn passing thing. Gives me a better idea of what's actually happening. Right, Yulstone we could probably do with a large pig farm there as well, just to build things up. Rakiberg is still building that. Dane's Halls, which we should, I guess, build 72%. We should build the army barracks here, I guess, because that's the place where we're going to get Dragon Slayers from. Oh, Nazanar, we're still building something there. Witherboard. We will go with Healer's Hall. Military build policy again. Erebor. Still building the Merchant's Quarter there. You can go there. Right then. Everything other than the 2 labourers and Narfi going to get into this army here and await Dane's arrival. They will wait, getting free upkeep on them. Kirit Gathol, which we do want to be turning into a bit more of a recruitment hub as time goes forward. Speaking of which, there's Blacklock Dragon Slayers. And what have we actually got in there? We've got enough ranged units, so we will, I think, go with a unit of Spear Boys, and we'll go for an Armourer. Still building there. Okay. In a long realm like this as well, when like we're at war with people on both sides of it, like we didn't actually see this guy move into our territory at the end of that turn. He just showed up. So you do have to be a little bit careful with stuff like that. Right, Mount Gundabad, we're still building the guild house. Can we build anything useful here? Nope, still just trash. Actually, you know what? We don't even need you 3 here anymore, so you get into that fort so that when we do get new units, they will get free upkeep. Very well then. We'll see what Lord Skuld does. If we're defending this settlement, then we should be absolutely fine. Yeah, I want to see the Blacklock Engineers in action, but we haven't really gotten a chance to go into the east yet. Right then. Let's see. They'll be attacking from the same side of the settlement we were, so they will have the terrain advantage that we did, unfortunately, which is bad news when it comes to having to deal with stuff like the Dark Blades. But Hammers of Gundabad, Axguard of Erebor, most of the other units in his army looked fairly basic. So while it may be a big army, it's not a particularly scary one. We could even trap him in with a few units in behind. Yeah, we're building breweries, don't worry. We've already built breweries in most settlements, to be fair. The settlements we haven't built breweries in, like, we haven't built any in our core provinces because we don't need them. Culture's already massive. The Wrath of Khand, the hordes of Khand are come, like a cracking whip, the horsemen of Khand have thundered into the west, smashing through the defences of all in their path. Decimating and destroying, burning and pillaging, yet their ultimate goal is one of assimilation. For that is what the very eggs of Khand do, how they have become so strong. Is there nothing that can be done at this hour so late in the coming? They aren't actually sieging. I think they see the folly of trying to attack a settlement that has that much strength. We'll send you this way as well, just in case. Just to bulk up our defences. Construction complete in Velkazash. We actually have roads. Who would have thought? Yes, this is it, a brewery. We already have, to be fair, in this settlement we already have decent dwarven culture. To the extent where I'm actually wondering if a stoneworkers hall wouldn't be worthwhile beforehand. Yeah, we'll go for a stoneworkers hall, because Thorin's just going to hold Velkazash for the time being. Dane is going to be the one to come in like a wrecking ball with all of his boys. Right, is there anything we can trade out here for a unit of spears? Is there anything depleted? No, these units are all actually fully healthy. Do we really need 2 ballistae? You know what, I actually think this is fine. Any more units we can send forward as reinforcements. That's a full stack in Dane's hands. Everything else, recruitment reports. Latash has retrained some dudes. Okay. What is he actually going to do? Curious, most curious. Don't know how much it'd be a cost in the UK, but maybe this is enough to celebrate Gimli's health. That would be enough, Calvin, yeah, even after YouTube's cut. That would be enough for a nice cold brew, as they call it. So thank you very much. Right, 2 turns until another unit of Blacklock. So yeah, we'll start moving forward with Dane. These areas are still under Dalian control, interestingly enough. It might be... Actually, Strondost has held on. That's... Well done, Dorwinian. Like, it's still being sieged, but like they're still fighting hard. They will lose eventually, though, if we don't intervene. And a strong Dorwinian is what we're going to need when Mordor start vomiting their taint all over the Rovanian. Right, we still have this guy as well. This guy... who we shall, because we're going to be taking quite a few settlements, I think, so we will actually send this guy eastward as well, because we have plenty of, I say plenty of generals. We've got a general in Gundabad, Berzakul, we've got Gimli obviously, and then we've got this guy down in Goblin Town. Down in Goblin Town. Can we build anything? No, I mean you can build diplomats, but maybe another spy wouldn't be the worst idea actually, just give an idea of what's happening with the Northern Dunedain. So yeah, we'll go with that. Build another spy. I'm not too paranoid by saving every turn with how persistent crashing can sometimes be. I mean, to be fair, as like You can't exactly go out to a bar or a pub at the moment and get one. So that actually makes it less it's less expensive to buy it elsewhere. No, I didn't. I said thank you, your enemy's friend. Send a diplomat with the spy and buff the Dunedain. That's not a bad idea, actually, Xavier. I keep forgetting that I should be giving money to Dale, but I keep forgetting my diplomat. He's like, the King of Rohan is dead, Theoden has fallen, Isengard, well and truly, pushing forwards now. Dol Guldur is besieged, so Dol Guldur are crumbling, which is nice. That might be Thranduil, actually, because Lorien haven't had their prospering message. Meanwhile, quite the opposite for Rohan. Great evil has befallen the lands of Rohan. Enemies run freely in the lands, pushing over the border as if were nothing of substance, placing the land into great peril, and much has fallen, much has been lost, broken or bound by those foes. Women and children fall before the might of Rohan's enemies. It is thus far an unanswered prayer that the days of Helm Hammerhand will be relived in our lifetime. Hey there, Manus Hudson. Right. Yeah, he doesn't want a siege, does he? He doesn't feel too confident, although there are more Angmarim on the way. Yeah, go for another unit of Mattox. Right, this guy as well, so we could keep... Right, so we need to move you down. The question is where to go. Maybe we do just go this way. Maybe we just skirt the edge of the map with Dane. Right, Goblin Town and Mount Gundabad. Definitely need to be building more in Mount Gundabad. Great roads. Catapult maker would be... Culture requirement only 25% as well. It's pretty tempting, that one. Yeah, we'll go with that one. And Gobbo Town. We should rename Goblin Town, really. Hey there, Langer. Ambrodor. Right. A grain exchange? No. I mean, a mining complex wouldn't be that much of a problem. Healer's Post. Where's the pub? I mean, we're not really going to be constructing units in Goblin Town anytime soon. So it probably makes sense to be going for like a stoneworkers hall. What do we do here? Do we perhaps... What have they actually got in this army? Wargs. The Wargs are the main problem here. They've got Warg skirmishers. What we could do, of course, is send out a detachment from Latash to like surround them, essentially, and deal with them that way. But the problem with doing that is I would have to put the detachment in the hands of the AI, and they would inevitably just throw their lives away. Agent recruited. Goblin Town. Kamith Bryn, which still has a lot of units in it. There's a Goblin force there. Right, we'll go this way. Rudour Uplands in the hands of Rudour. The Angle still in the Dunedain's hands. And then there's the Hidden Valley. Defending captain of Goblin Town was Drangu. Feels like this campaign should be Rohan. Next campaign should be Rohan. I mean, Rohan did alright last time. Not sure what I'll call Goblin Town yet. Something dwarven. Because Goblin Town, of course, it's not like it's a storied location. It's not as if it's like an old dwarven hold, which we can simply change the name of from Goblin Town back to that. Akin to Dol Guldur back to Amon Lank. Maybe we'll name it something after Faror here, seeing as he was the one that went forth. Let's see. Relations improved with the Dun Lendings, which is kind of interesting. High Pass. Faror's Pass, perhaps. That's not a bad idea. At least on a temporary basis. Goblin hole. How horrifying. Anyway, yes. No mercenaries available to recruit there. It's really just a waiting game. I'm wondering if there is going to be one last battle to end this part off with Lord Skuld here, because I'm not attacking out of Mount Graham because he's just got too many wargs for that to be a particularly good idea. Khan Doom is the only major settlement they have. Goblexit town. Nice. The Isengard. I mean, we haven't been an Orcish faction yet, and I suppose in terms of locations in the world, Isengard is the most different. They're a very popular faction as well, our Isengard. So that could be an option, I suppose. It could very well be. Right, they still aren't attacking us, are they? Minas Tirith under siege, Osgiliath fell, and very quickly Minas Tirith finds itself in problem. Dorwinian Resplendent, the land of wine and song is rising. The elves look upon them with favour, and their allies have pulled them to their sides with unwanted splendour and resolve. Much would many give to see a kingdom where elves call it their home, and a beauty is kindled that will not die. The vineyards shall not be devoured by axe and flame. Wonder and joy are born once more under the dim shadow that ate at its very borders. Okay. So how is this occurring? I mean, I suppose they have pushed Rune back there. They've got a unit over here. I mean, they are winning, quote unquote, perhaps. Ah, hello there, Rune. Oh, I'm sure. But there will be no defeating of me occurring today. Right, so we've got a little bit of a blind spot, but much more visibility over here in Felkazash. Brodor's Pass. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. If I could, I would rename the generals as well, but alas, it cannot be done. Anyway, this is kind of awkward. There's also this guy who he's got a second general in there, so he's got Witch Knight. Dorwinian could eat Dogaldor. I'm not sure about that. I mean, we had the Mirkwood is prospering message quite a long time ago, so I'd assume it's Mirkwood doing the business. Right, construction report. Erebor, Kirik Thol, Rakiberg, Erebor. Do we have anything else that can give us more money? A merchant bank would give us more money. So would armourers, to be fair. But more money. 5 turns until we can construct a unit of Iron Fist hammers. No invasions as of yet. Yes, here we go. Right, we'll put you next to Dale. Rakiberg. We shall build here steelmongers, because that gives us a bit of extra cash as well. You go over here, and in Kirik Gathol we should get a heavy armourer on the go. Start arming up the boys. A couple more units of mattocks. Right, you're getting free upkeep for the moment, so we will just keep you there. This is more of a sort of backup general. So it could be against Rune. There is around 4 to 5 settlements between Mirkwood, Forest Border and Dorwinian starting settlements. This would be enough to trigger Dorwinian Resplendent message. Oh, what, you mean like the empty Rovanian bits? That's true, but don't Rune contest them as well? Because don't Rune start off with like this area over here? So they could be attacking, I don't know. Unknown. Let's go and see what's happening down here. Can't quite see Fenest Ruinen yet. They're under siege apparently. Ah, yes. Can we build anything in Gundabad yet? No. Hammers of Gundabad. One more turn until we can get a second unit of Gundabad hammers. Right, so it could be that Rune is where we sign things off. Yeah, recruitment slots would be useful, Xavier, but by the time we get up to the culture level, it takes quite a while for the recruitment slots to replenish for dwarves anyway. So while it will be useful eventually, it's not really the biggest priority at the moment. Yeah, maybe Rune is... I mean, as soon as we enter the fray against Rune properly, as soon as we start pushing forward now with Dane, I would imagine they're probably going to start to fall apart if they're already feeling the pressure. Let's hope that that's the case. Because really, everywhere else other than with Mordor and Isengard, the usual suspects, the Free Peoples will then be doing pretty well for themselves. I'm surprised we're not really getting more of a mention in terms of the most powerful factions in terms of economy, to be honest. We really should be making more of an impression in that theatre. Give money to Dale before you end the turn. Hey there, Owen. Ally with the High Elves? That's a good point, we could ally with the High Elves. Oh, so it was Angmar that was attacking Fenestruinin. New family member, end of turn report. Celebrations, Hergin. Oh boy, we've got a lot of construction to do now. Recruitment report, Kirit Cathol. Relations improved with the Dark Lord of Mordor, even though we're at war with more than one of his underlings. Yeah, so Skilled is just gonna, I guess he's just gonna stand there, gormlessly. We'll keep an eye on Morvatarth. Fenestruinin is fine. There's goblins on the way, but we don't really need to concern ourselves about that. Ostsul is the Dunedain capital. Okay. Weird choice, but whatever works for you. So we can build a diplomat over here, which we'll do. Build a diplomat. Right, so we need to build stuff everywhere at this point. So Mount Graham, we built an armory, which gives us even more of a defence. So we'll go for a stoneworkers hall now, because I feel fairly confident in hanging on to it at this stage. Stoneworkers Guild House as well. Come on, there's a unit just in behind. There he is. Get into Latash. Mount Gundabad's still building something. You're not, though. Max level armourer. Max level armourer would be quite nice. We're going to go for it. A Allstone. Grain exchange will be just fine. Oh yeah, so I guess battles make an impact on that. Ooh, look at this. Look at this glorious selection that we have available to us now. Dragon Slayers, Iron Guard, and Sons of the Fallen. Right. So we should really be thinking about building an armourer. Catapults would be nice. Go for a pig farm, actually, because this place could... need to just build it up a little bit more right. So what do we want? Halberds are useless, so we will not be building them. Well, I think the thing to do here is clearly just to build one of each of the tier 3 units we have on offer, and then just go for another unit from something else. Go for a unit of King's Shields. Very nice. Very expensive, but very nice. Smoking House. Onazanar. What can we build here at this point? We can build more. This is where we start to see a little bit more in terms of quality units getting out onto the field. Imagine relations worsen with the High Elves and they declare war. Well, I doubt that'll happen. I'm confident that they will be reasonable. Stoneworkers Guild House, because we will be building mines there eventually. Just basic stuff at this point, we're not going to bother with that. Kirit Gathol. You boys get into this man's army and start heading out. Aha, look at him. Look at him flee! Flee for his life. And did we get... Can we build anything nice in Kirit Gathol? No, not really. Okay. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I really want to be actually using some of these units now, but the AI don't want to engage me. I want to catch up with that runic... You can re-armor units if they're in place. Yeah, you can retrain them to get the better armor as well. I like the fact that we've got quite a few Oricani units in this army as well, because we're sort of reasonably close to the Red Mountains over here, even if they're not actually on the map. Dane and his son reunited. I keep forgetting to give Dale money. I'm not sure I can spare any change. It's like a homeless person on the street asking for some spare change, and you walk past in like a suit made of gold and you're like, don't know if I can spare anything, mate. Still, we did take Goblin Town and Mount Graham this time. This has been more of a reorganisation part though, if more than anything, because we've had to get so many of our armies out toward the east. And it's going to be a complete mess, really, of military access if we want to go down and battle against Mordor. So it's easy to just try and take the edge of the map like this and attack Mordor from the rear. Gondor sets out to reclaim Minas Tirith. So the Doomstack has spawned. Give them a little bit of a power spike, but eventually, of course, they will be run over. Caer Andros is still in their hands. Yes. Goblin Town. Thulin. You can start heading over here. What about where's Fornost again? Is that Fornost? No, that's Bree. That's Fornost, isn't it? Let's go and see what's happening up there. There be Dunedain. Bree seem to be just fine still, which is nice. Construction complete in Fel-Kazash. Most advanced faction, Mordor. Yeah, that's not too surprising. How is my rating in terms of finances? 17th. War declared between Lorien and Mordor. Well, that's something at least. Thulin. Oh, he left. Where did he go? He gave up. Maybe they're struggling elsewhere. Maybe Ered Luin is pushing on Khan Doom. Could be. It could be the case. Right, so yes, we will give Dale a gracious gift of gold. I will make a single payment of 1 gold. No. Something more substantial. But I'll give them 5,000. That should be enough to give them something. Yes, indeed. How could you? I remember when Rohan refused a province once. There you go. Right, you. Hey, look, there's a Dalian merchant. Right, we need another watchtower here, really. Keep moving that way. Gonna keep going this way as well. As soon as that's happened as well, we'll probably get Thorin to leave with as many decent units as we can. Kirikathal. Yeah, I want to end on a battle, but I'm not sure that we're going to be able to. Everyone keeps running from us. Okay. I mean, yeah, at this point we're in a place of strength in the campaign, and we're starting to get some of our really strong units out onto the field. That runic army that we just saw as well, most of it was still their pre-barracks event stuff, like their Daratai and their Harulad. Harulad units are pretty decent against us, but the Daratai are trash. Use this time to build up your forces in the west. My forces are already decently built up in the west, and also with Berzakul now being sort of repurposed as a recruitment hub for us, and we've got Dane's Halls as well. We can just send across like Dragon Slayers and Sons of the Fallen and so on. And Angmar are going to have absolutely no answer to that. I mean, Khazad-dûm are taking a long time to kill the goblins. Maybe we'll go and take Khazad-dûm west for ourselves. Fornost has been rebuilt. Well done. That's good. The Moot Lord of Enedwaith is dead. Surprised he lasted this long, to be honest with you. Look, Jesus. He is not a particularly good-looking chap, is he, Ferrari? But we shall have him on board anyway. Edoras is sieged, so they've held on to Edoras. The Ar-Adonayim reigns supreme. It's taken quite a while for that message to pop up, actually. Construction report in many places. Most advanced faction. Our realm is now the most advanced in Middle-earth. I assume that's gold. I would assume. There's a lot of units that we have. Marriage celebrations. That. Yeah, there we are. Look, oh no, production. Interesting. Right, so we got. Where did our new dude appear? Because I would bring him over to Latash. Oh, there he is. Good, he's right there. Then you can get into Latash and be responsible for its prospering. You can actually combine some of those units as well. Right. Still waiting on them. Right, Mount Gundabad. We can build another unit of Hammers of Gundabad now, which is very nice. At this point, I'm not even sure we need anything other than the Hammers of Gundabad from this place, to be honest, so we might as well start going for stuff like this. Mount Graham. Dog's going crazy again. Master Stoneworkers Hall, why not? Just go for some culture, I guess. Dane's Halls. Another unit of King's Shields would be quite nice. One turn until all of they are in. We're still constructing something there anyway. That guy is lazy. You can tell he's lazy because he clearly doesn't look after his own appearance very well. Pub, actually. Yeah, pub will be fine. Inn. Stoneworkers. Wait, what are we doing? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Guildhouse still doing its thing. Do we have anything that we can recruit? King's Halberds are such a letdown, so no. 2 turns, 21 turns until the next unit of Axguard of Erebor. That's crazy. Crazy cooldown on them. Yeah, there really isn't anything else we can do unit-wise at the moment. We've already run the supply dry. Meanwhile, brewery, definitely. Can't quite make it. Let's keep moving down this way. There he is. He's more than willing to, well, he's more than welcome, I should say, to come back and try and attack us. I guess if this town is empty, we'll go after it. and just relieve them of their burden. That is everything then, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, maybe conquering that town will be the last battle we do, because I do want to end it on some kind of battle, even if it's a foregone conclusion. We won't be sending Dane in on the front line, because we've learnt our lesson now. Never again will we be caught flat-footed in such a way. Actually, that's a good point. Let's have a little... So yeah, Rune's still hold on to this territory. Vine Regent, he needs to be very, very careful. Right, did we move these boys? We did not. So yes, Fornost rebuilt, with some good Dunedain armies around here as well, which is gratifying. Right, and we also have... Where did that agent go? There he is. Right, head down to the angle. Right then. The dragon sickness seems tangible. Money on top of money. By Rivendell. That would be something. Excuse me, Elrond. I would like to buy your house. Probably could by the end game, to be fair. I don't think we have enough to buy Rivendell, actually, because it's like really well developed settlements like that, the AI want tons and tons of money for. Could do with getting an alliance with the Dunedain, to be honest. We'll see what they say to that. The Nazgul returned to Dol Guldur. Betrothed, yes. The one... Okay, change of plan. There has been a change of plan. Perfect. The opportunity presents itself. Right, so what do we have here? We've got things. How many do we have? So we've got 1, 2, 3 with Dane's axe, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, Dane won't be able to pick it up. Thorin, what do you say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so you won't be able to pick it up either. You, on the other hand, Dor, you have a ring already. How would you like to add another one to your collection? Right, so I was going to send Thorin forward, actually, but no longer. Now, this man will be moving forward, and we shall be giving him the ring. The ultimate... I mean, actually, I feel fairly comfortable with leaving it there after that, to be honest, because that means the goal for next time becomes all too clear. Right, we'll be moving this way with most of what we have at this stage. Look at this, look at all of these units. Weapons upgrades on them as well. Right, I think, to be fair, with the Dragon Slayers and that unit of King's Shields, we'll go to Latash with them. Get another unit of Dragon Slayers soon enough anyway. Head that way with you. What else can we build? 2 units of King's Axes, we will take that. And we can build something. Miners' Union, actually, at this point, that stuff like that will become actually quite useful. Kirit Cathol and Erebor. Erebor itself, which at this point has become a money-making powerhouse. And actually, at this point, I'm thinking that we'll build some ranged units from Erebor, I think. 1 unit in 1 turn until Iron Fist hammers become available. Dane wants the mineral rights. Dwarves will probably keep the ring. The dwarves actually are known for being less susceptible to the corrupting power of Sauron's rings, which is kind of shown in the movie when, like, Elrond says, listen, you've got to destroy the ring, and Gimli was like, sure, let's do it right now, and tries to smash it with the axe. Which is kind of interesting when you consider the sort of natural greed that the dwarves have, but Sauron wasn't really able to exploit that. Army barracks. What are we actually able to build here? Just the Iron Guard? That's a bit of a shame. But what do we want? What do we need? That would be quite nice. That would be very nice, so let's go for it. Right, can we build any more units? Because at this point things are getting a little... Durin's Guard. Another general. Let's do it. This, they're all not of the level of quality that we need anymore. King's Halberds are... I think they're... Actually, no, they have 5 attack. With the weapons upgrades that we have, actually, that's probably worth it. So let's just go for it. Let's just build some. Can we build any King's units over here yet? Nope. Still building there. The Tash, I don't know why we're looking at recruitment in the Tash. There's no way we're going to be able to recruit stuff there for a while. Right then. Okay, we will save it. We'll pass the turn and then we'll see what the situation is, because it could be that that runic army tries to go around and attack Felkazash. But we shall see. Oh yes, Fenestruinin. I really want to get the ring. One ring would corrupt dwarf holding it, but it would take time. Yeah, I'd assume so. But, you know, the point is the dwarves are weirdly more resilient to Sauron's influence than the others. More so than the elves as well, actually, because like you can see a few examples really of the elves outright refusing to get involved with the ring because they know that it can corrupt them. Galadriel's probably a good example of that. But this sets up the next part very very interestingly. Dwarves have camaraderie. Yeah, the dwarves are lads in ways that the elves aren't. Right then. Construction reports. Oh, Nazanar, Mount Gundabad. Okay, so yeah. This place. We want... Go for a mining complex there. In Gundabad we will... do what? Go for roads. What was the other place? It wasn't this. It was... I know there was Onazanar, which we can build something in now. Hall of Aule. Orikani Royal Hall would be quite nice as well, but I think at this point actually we could probably do with more money. This place needs to pull its weight a bit more, so let's go with that. You keep heading across this way, as will you. Iron Fist Hammers, Kirikathal, some halberdiers there as well. Right then. What is this? Okay. Right. Well. That's it. Felkazash, that's it. Now I remember. This place has got an absolutely pitiful population, hasn't it? I don't really care about raising it all that quick. Well, yeah, go for a pig farm. Why not? Okay. So that's where we're going to leave it then. Next time, we begin our march southward to go after the ring. Which should be quite interesting. So we need to get this gentleman here, Dor, to siege and take Mistrand. And then the ring shall be his. And then it's a matter of trying to raise a suitable army that we can just walk the ring into Mordor with. It'll be a lengthy process, because I think what we'll probably do is we'll probably build up a solid stack and send it around the edge of the map and in here, right into the heart of Mordor's territory. A couple of banner armies, I think. One that's exceptionally powerful and one that's more of a supporting role. So yeah, that's what we will do next time. This was more of a sort of logistical episode, really. It was really the earlier parts where we took Goblin Town and Mount Graham. Gimli perished and then came back to life by will of the game itself. So we can't complain too much about that. I think we will... I'll just have a little look quickly before we leave at anything that we can potentially build that is actually useful. Nothing there. What about in Dane's Halls? This place is... We can go for a couple more units of King's Halberds, which, I mean, why not? Now that we've learnt that they actually have had their damage upgraded a little bit. Still not brilliant, to be honest, but it's good enough to the point where they're worth building, just because they are a solid unit. Okay. Relations improved with Enidwaith. Production. Marvellous. Okay, so I shall save the game there. And that will be the end of the stream. Now, it is worth saying that I'm not sure when the next stream will be. Primarily because this week's probably going to be pretty busy from this point onwards. Tomorrow I'm going to be in university all day, and the following 2 days I have some fairly substantial online conferences, which means I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the normal stream on Thursday. If I can't do the stream on either Wednesday or Thursday, then I will endeavour instead to do it on Friday. And if that's not possible, then I will instead just have a pre-recorded video sometime in the next few days to sort of replace that. And we might even move the stream to Saturday or something like that. So there will be another stream at some point this week, but I don't know whether it will be in the week or at the weekend. It just kind of depends on stuff that's out of my control, basically. But yeah, there will be another pre-recorded video regardless of what happens with that, though, on Wednesday, which will be a Haradrim siege. So that should be quite... it's on a good map as well. It's... I forget the name of the exact cityscape that it is, but it's a cityscape battle that's based in like the south, and it is lore friendly as well. So that'll be the next video that comes out. There should be another stream as well that follows on from that, but other than that, the same schedule of 2 streams and 2 videos a week is going to be able to be kept up this week, I think, in some form or another. So just keep an eye out for the YouTube community section, because that's where I'll let people know exactly what's going on. Like the day before, I'll tell you the stream's happening, so that's probably the best way. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It was a bit of a chaotic one, this, and I hope you'll join me for whatever is next.